might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Well, give me all you got, don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, go! Bring me down, can't none bring me down. Your love is too high to bring me down, can't none bring.
Hello, everyone. We are here again in our Fans Week event. Right now, we will be speaking about triangular cooperation between EU and South America and the Caribbean. Here is Andrea Platero and Melquiades Lozano, co-founders of Incubadora con Valores. As you might, some of you know already, we are the first incubator for people at risk of exclusion supported by the private sector by a pool of more than 1,000 mentors that they are coming from the business sector, and they volunteer with us with their knowledge and also with their time. And now we are here today to know more about some international and European funds. For that matter, right now, to speak about the cooperation between EU and South America and Latin America and the Caribbean, we have here Michel Lapierre. He is our expert for today. Here he is. Hi, Michel. How are you? You are in mute.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Hello.
Welcome. Michel is now connected from Santiago de Chile, and I will introduce him for a couple minutes, you to know more about him, and after he will be explaining to us the triangular cooperation called Adelante, and he will give us the do and don'ts and the tips for applying for this call. It's a European one. And I have to say that Michel Lapierre is a sociologist, master in sustainable development, graduated Institute of Geneva and DESCO Lima, and master in international social policies from the University of Kent in the UK. He has been a researcher, manager, and coordinator of projects and programs on territorial development, environment, education, and gender in universities, the United Nations, foundations, and independently. He has developed his experience in different countries, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, and Spain, and at the regional level in Latin America and Europe. He was deputy director of the Research and Development Center of the Catholic University of Ecuador until 2012. Since 2014, he was the coordinator of the United Nations Human Security Program on the border of Ecuador and Colombia. Furthermore, he has been a researcher and trainer at the University of Chile and the University of Valladolid in Spain, specializing in territorial development and environmental governance. In 2019, he received the Isabel Tovar Guarderas Award for the Best Book of the Year in Social Sciences in Ecuador for his book about illegal gold mining in the Chocó region. Currently, he's in Finnova, is the director of LATAM, promoting and developing EU-Latin America cooperation projects and alliances for sustainable development, innovation, and adaptation to the climate change. First of all, Michel, thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure to have you here. and we are, super excited to have the opportunity to know more about this Adelante program.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Andrea, for the presentation. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. The truth is that I'm very happy to be here, and I think it is an excellent space that Convalores opens. I'm going to make some excuses because I am a little constipated, so I need to drink water constantly. Otherwise, my voice won't come out. So that is all. My name is Michel Lapierre. I am the director of FINOA for LATAM, and we are going to talk about the triangular cooperation, EU LATAM. Okay, go to there. Andy, can you put the next slide, please? Oh, sorry, no, the presentation is not in the.
No worries, she's like,
okay. Okay.
yeah, she's sharing the screen now.
Yes. Yes. We're going now to talk about the triangular cooperation, and FINOVA. It's just a little about FINOVA. It's a Belgian foundation dedicated to promoting European policies and financing instruments. And we are currently very interested in strengthening cooperation between the EU and LATAM for sustainable development. We work several areas you can see, such as new technologies, sustainable development, the environment, circularity, energy efficiency, renewable energy, smart cities, bioeconomy, water waste, tourism, and social inclusion, all topics that have to do with this sustainable development. Now we are in different countries, in Belgium, Spain, Portugal, and now in Chile, running the Latin American office. The next slide, please. What is the triangular cooperation? Here is a graph from the OCDE organization. Basically, it's a innovative, promising way of expanding global cooperation for sustainable development. Now is too common, or quite common, the triangular cooperation, because it's another way to understand the cooperation with at least 3 parts. Can provide solution to overcome today's most pressing environmental, economic, and social challenges, ensuring sustainable development in partner countries, and it's a combination of 3 roles that are very important. The beneficiary partner, who seeks support to tackle a specific development challenge. The pivotal partner has proven experience in the issue and share its resources, knowledge, and expertise. And the facilitate partner who connects the beneficiary and the pivotal partner, supporting their collaboration financially and technically. This role may change throughout the life of a project. It's not a static roles, and there can be several actors at each edge of the triangle, and those actors may be representing countries, international organizations, civil society, private sector, trade unions, private philanthropy. Depends on the funds or the funds or the specific cooperation where the triangular cooperation is. Next slide, please. There are different programs. Even I encourage you that you can see from other continents. For example, I could see a few days ago the Asian Triangular Cooperation Program, which is very interesting and involve other continents like Africa and Asia. But in Latin America, the most important are the German cooperation. It's very interesting, the Triangular Cooperation Program of the Dutch government, and Adelante Dos, which is maybe the most triangular cooperation program of the EU. There are other triangular cooperation programs from AECID, and there are many agreements, bilateral or multilateral agreement between some countries in EU and other countries in Latin America. For example, there are some initiatives that involve or implied Mexico, Chile, and other countries. And as we are going to see, Adelante 2 has a regional part and has a country part in a specific countries. The next slide, please. Well, Adelante 2 is a European Union program with the aim of contributing to the fulfillment of the 2030 agenda in Latin America and the Caribbean through interventions that reflect the most modern approach to triangular cooperation. And its characteristics are the following. It is a demand-driven instrument, agile and flexible, with a rapid response approach, open to all initiatives that address any SDH or Sustainable Development Goal. And the eligible activities must be knowledge sharing, such as events, conferences, seminars, workshops, missions, consultancies, study visits and internship studies, consultings, and participation in courses. Adelante 2 supports initiatives, no projects. That is important to have in mind, in the sense that there is not a sum of actions on a problem to change the problem in the traditional way of the theory of action, but rather they are initiatives that is action of exchange of experience that allow improving capabilities so that the beneficiary and the local actors know how to transform a problem. So we have to have a clear idea that this fund of cooperation is not about projects to intervene a reality, rather is an initiative to exchange experience and knowledge. Initiatives are very short, last between 6 and 9 months in this program. And this is, for me, a very good advantage. Adelante team will directly manage the funds, thus ensuring greater agility and working under the rapid response approach mentioned above. The manage of the funds of the Adelante team is a very easy way to that the partnership can focus on the initiative and not just to manage the initiative in this case. The next slide, please. The budget, as you can see, is to 2023, the last year, was around 2 million euros. And budget is in one modality, which is the Adelante window. Budget is depleted as proposals are approved. So the window is open, as we are going to see, and closed when the budget is depleted. They finance initiative between 1,000 euros and 2,000 euros, and the partnership co-finances is about 25% of the total budget per initiative, at least. And next slide, please. Related to maybe the content of the initiative, it's very important to have this scheme in mind, because the proposal is built upon a development challenge, which is identified by the beneficiary entities and related to SDG, and the development solution that the partnership can understand and exchange must be consistent with the identified challenge, must be coherent with the knowledge and experience of the provider entities, viable and sustainable, and built and perfected throughout the implementation of the initiative, and take shapes in a model or tool that can be scalable for the other initiative or for the knowledge of the other partners in other countries. Adelante 2 is very interesting in exchange knowledge, to share knowledge between the different initiatives, and the idea is that the initiative can be a model of different solutions to problems which are common in this case in Latin America. Next slide, please. Some numbers of the program that has been running for a few years. As you can imagine, Adelante 2 is the second version of the Adelante program that began in 2010, and the current version ends next year. Although it is expected that the program will be renewed with the lesson learned from the initiatives already implemented. But we can see there are many entities and people and countries involved in this program. Next slide, please. As I said, there are two ways to participate, and it is important to know these ways. First of all, there is the Adelante window, which opens on a specific date and closes when resources are entirely allocated. And this is important, very important, because in the last call, for example, in this year, in April, the last April, the platform closed just 3 days after the call was opened. Therefore, it's very important to have the project and the partnership for this way, the Adelante 2 window, completed and agreed before the call. It's different like other calls, and in this Adelante windows, it's very important to have the project and the partnership, the consortium, the actors which are going to participate in the initiative to have the project clear and the association clear before the call. The Adelante window is a regional call. All Latin countries are eligible, and opens between April and May. So it's important, if you see that it's a fund that you can participate, it's important to plan the application in previous months, January, February, at least, to have a good opportunity. The other way to participate are triangular cooperation fund specific for different countries, and in the Adelante 2, the agreement is for Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Cuba, and Uruguay, which are middle-income countries. They can associate with European countries and with other Latin American country with low income, of the low income country, a low income country, and it is not a window, but normally the application period lasts around 1 month from the moment the call opens. That is important to have in mind. In addition to SDG, each country normally highlights specific priorities. For example, in a previous call from Costa Rica highlight different priorities, the priorities of the SDG, but they add other priorities related specifically with the migration crisis, which is in the Central America. Next slide, please. This is an example of success we as Finnova, we applied and we won and we implemented a program like this. The program was the sustainability in the fashion sector for its internationalization. It was a Adelante 2 window with a budget of 180 euros and different participants. For example, the Bogota Chamber of Commerce of Colombia, like a beneficiary, the Sustainable Fashion Cluster of Peru, like as a first provider, and Finnova as a second provider. In this project, to have an example, it was designed to maximize the knowledge of the partnership entity of the obligatory requirements of regulation in the framework of the European Green Deal. It's very important to the project which tackle the EU norms, in this case to some sustainable products, and other laws and certification that allow them to access new markets, as well as on strategies for strengthening business models and minimizing environmental impacts. The projects seek to strengthen the areas of the Bogota Chambers of Commerce to raise awareness and appropriate of the knowledge of European and Peruvian companies through the transfer of good practices related to sustainability and circularity, the requirements for market access within the framework of the European Green Pact. And it was composed by workshops, seminar, practical guide, training courses, study visits, and international conferences. So in resume, to know the European norms to access to new market to Colombian textile as a beneficiary countries, and to know good practices of sustainability and circularity in this case. This initiative lasts 8 months, so you can see the time is very short to implement this initiative. Next slide, please. And about the next slide, please. And now how to apply and the application process, how is. There are different routes, there are different evaluation routes or pathways of the initiative presented, but in both modalities, there is a preliminary evaluation, and if this preliminary evaluation is, it moves to a second stage where the proposal and budget must be designed in more detail. But in this characteristic is shared by the two ways to participate in the Adelante 2 window and the triangular cooperation by country. The Adelante 2 window is made through a virtual platform, and the triangular cooperation funds are just by sending documents to an email. And the concept note or the proposal is a fairly concise form. And as I said, in the Adelante 2 windows, this form must be made in the virtual platform. In addition, a letter of association must be presented between partners. It's a letter, very conventional, but it's not easy to get, because all the actors or the partner have to sign the letter at the same time, so it demands a coordination, which is a little bit very difficult, considering the times, especially in the Adelante 2 windows. And as I said, there is different evaluation. There is a specific evaluation cycle, which is similar in two processes. The next slide, please. About the tips of how to apply it, for me, maybe there are many things we can consider, but for me, there are maybe two very important things. First of all, the application deadlines are very short. Therefore, alliances and initiatives must be defined before the start of the call. For me, that is a lesson learned. We won the Adelante 2 as Finnova in 2022, but in the last call we cannot progress in the call for this factor. For us, it was very short the time, so I think that it was very important to make this initiative or the concept note to agree with the partners, the concept note and the budget before the call. That is very important, and it's important taking into account the months in which the calls usually open. In regional, around April, Costa Rica, for example, May, Colombia is in October, and the other cooperation, other calls from other countries like Chile, Uruguay, and Brazil is important to have in mind. I don't know this in what months these calls are open, but it's important to plan, to understand and to contact with the people in charge of this program, to understand and to know where when the calls will open. Next slide. But for me, the key of this fund is the coherence. That is the key. Initiative must address relevant SDG challenges which have the possibility of scalability. The fund seeks for solutions that can be scalable to other problems in similar contexts. And the partnership must have a significant expertise to provide experience and solution, a relevant experience and solution to the challenge. Coherence between SDG, challenge, skills, and experience of the entities and the proposal is the key of this fund. As we saw, development challenge must be identified by the benefiting entities are related to SDG. Sometimes, due to necessity or motivation, we try to generate partnership from different countries. And for many projects, that is all. In this project, it's very important to understand that it's a very competitive fund. So it is important to make alliances with leading and relevant actors within the selected countries, ensuring that the main beneficiary, for example, has an important role in addressing the development challenge, and that the first offerer is a country of the Latin American context that has already addressed the issue with good results, and a European country with experience in solving the development challenge. So this coherence between partnership, the development challenge, and the proposal is essential to assure the competitiveness of the initiative in this case. And next slide. Okay, and that is all that I can tell you. Thank you very much. That was the presentation. I thank Convalores for the space. I hope it was useful. And well, as I told you, we as Finnova, we are interested in promoting this type of initiatives. So if you have any idea that you think that you think can be competitive and innovative, and you lack partners and technical support, do not hesitate to write to me. And any question, please tell me. And thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for being here, for being part of Fund Week, and for explaining to us this call. There are some questions, and one of them is like, it was like everyone started to write to me when you say that the call is only open for 3 days. People was like, what? Has he say 3 days? It's 3 days? And I was like, yes, it's 3 days. He said it right. And how when is the exactly time, how like, okay, I have everything ready, where do you download like the application form that you need to implement, like how you do these things in 3 days, or how you do it previously?
Yes, well, that's why I recommend you that you can take this initiative or design this initiative before the call. The call, sorry, the call last is very short for the window modality. The window modality implies that the budget is depleted as proposal are approved. So if there are many application or proposal, when the budget is depleted, the window is closed. So it's necessary to make the proposal to design before the call. You have different tools. If you, I strongly recommend that you can visit the page. It's www.adelante2.com, and you can see in some spaces some tools about Adelante 2, and they used to put the 5 different files, like the proposal form or the form of the last calls. They upload this file, and you can see what is the form and what is the document requirements. And essentially is a letter of agreement. So you have this kind of tools in the web page to prepare with anticipation the call. In this way of participate, which is the Adelante 2 windows. The others ways of participate is about the triangular cooperation by countries, and this call lasts around of 1 month, which is very short also. So I recommend to have the idea previously to the call is open.
And I would like to ask you about this. What is the main difference when you apply for a project in the window, and when you apply a project for the triangular cooperation? If you can like tell us which type of activities they fund in each one of the calls.
Are very similar. Are very similar both ways to participate, but the difference is that in Adelante window you can work with any countries of Latin America and one European. But in the triangular cooperation by country funds, this is specific for different countries. There are several countries: Uruguay, Costa Rica, Chile, Brazil, middle income countries, Mexico, Panama, I think so. I don't remember the exactly countries. And in these calls, the initiative must involve these countries. For example, if the Uruguay call, the initiative must involve Uruguay, European Union, and another Latin American country. So that is the difference.
Okay, and which are like the different within the activities? Like, is the budget, is the activities they fund? What is the difference between the window and not?
In context, it is the same. Just sometimes the Latin American countries involved in this fund, like Uruguay or Chile or Costa Rica, they add some priorities sometimes, but it's SDG Sustainable Development Goals, plus or in addition, some priorities defined for the country.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. There is one question regarding like what is the best way to choose the partner in Latin America if you have to work with the application before? Like how would you do? Because for example, as we are Spanish, we share the language with Latin America, but how you do it if you are an European Union organization to like rich organization? What would be your strategy?
Yes, as usually happen with different calls in European Union, funding, there are spaces of B2B spaces to match with different or to know different actors. And it's very interesting, and it's very interesting question, Andrea, because I encourage that if you can apply to this fund, you can participate also in the B2B spaces. In the page, you can find this space to just to find different partners or possible partners.
Okay, and if they're saying which European countries can participate in this program?
All the European countries on the EU.
Okay, any of the 27 countries, they
Yes.
are totally eligible.
Any of the 27 countries, yes.
Okay, perfect. And
mostly participate countries like Spain or Portugal, and there is maybe a possibility to widen the partnership, but for obvious reason of language, Spain is the most important partner in this program.
and there's here some question about what kind of initiatives are the ones that have more opportunity to be well evaluated and succeed in this cooperation?
I encourage also that you can visit the page. You have all the projects, but for me, and you can see that there are different initiatives which correspond with the SDG, the Sustainable Development Goals. So it's open to all SDG, but I think that maybe the most priority or most urgent priority in Latin America, like water, like circularity, natural resources, in sometimes or in some cases human rights also, energy, are very important for the fund.
Okay, thank you so much. And we have here one question regarding like any advice or steps to follow in order to get out the proposal ready for Adelante window.
To design with anticipation previously. For me, that is the most important advertise that I can do. It's important to design previously of the call, the proposal and the partnership.
And when you say anticipation, it's like 1 month, 2 months. How much time it takes to you to do like the Adelante window call?
Maybe you can imagine the idea from now. For now, the idea, possible topics and possible actors, and to start to be in contact 3 or 4 months previously, and maybe to start to land the idea 2 or 1 month before. Ideally, sometimes is 15 days in the world of the project or after, but that is for me ideal times.
Okay, there is one organization from South America that she's asking you if, for example, for this window, it could be, for example, the partnership between a Cuban organization, an Uruguay organization, for example, and one country in Europe. It would be 2 organizations from South America and 1 European, right?
That is perfect. That is perfect. The mission is to be coherent, sorry, with the with between the proposal, the partnership, and the development challenge. That is the key.
Okay, and now that we are speaking about the partnership, like in deep, it's like it would be better if they are three similar organizations, like they have the same goal, the same activities in different countries, or if they could be like different organizations doing different things, and they can be complementary on that. It's like, for example,
Yes, I
three
think
universities, or maybe better one NGO, one university, and one, I don't know, a small company or
yes.
whatever.
Maybe I didn't mention that, but the fund is target or is focused on different organization, multi-level organization from public, private, universities, organizations, civil organization, um, um, organization of business or enterprises, public sector also. I think that it's important to give to give to the proposal an idea of multi-actor, which can be complementary between them. It's a very good question, and I think that the complementarity is very important to the fund. Understanding that the problem or the management of problem or the management of development challenge involve all the model of governance. So it's important to add different kind of actors.
And regarding the budget, like how much is the total budget? You say that there is a 20% of co-financing, like from the organizations. I have some questions about it. Like, first one is like, how big is the budget? Like, we are speaking about how much, like average money.
Between 100,000, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if I say good, and 200,000
Okay.
euros. That is the and it's variable. You can see in the page the example of projects and budget also. I think that the projects that are exposed in the web page are very good guide. It's a very good guide to understand the profile of the initiatives, including the budget, about the budget.
Okay, I will share it. I will share it here on the chat with everyone. And I have one question regarding the cost. It's like, which costs are eligible, like, to be covered by this call?
Action, like I mentioned in some parts, maybe, but it's very important to take in mind, are eligible to budget activities like events, conferences, seminars, missions, consultancies, studies, study visits and internships, studies, consultancies, and participation in courses. So as you can see, are just activities of knowledge. Is not of other kind of activities, but for example, little consultancies, little studies, which allow to understand better the reality or the development challenge, are important if you can design with different knowledge sharing activities.
Okay, thank you so much. I was they're asking me about the budget for this 2024 call. You say that the 2023 call was about how much you say it was, like 2 million, I guess. I don't know
Yes,
if I
2
get it
million,
wrong.
2 million
2
euros.
million. Then you
Yes,
say like the maximum per project is like 200,000. That would
yes.
make like not more than 10, 20,
And
20 projects. That's not a lot.
then
How
at
much
least,
will be the budget for this year?
I don't know, but I think that is the same budget because they have the budget established by the period. This period is between 2021, I think, and 2024 for the next year. But also we can add the budget for the other way to participate, which is the triangular cooperation by country. this is variable between 1 million or 2 million euros also. So in the total of the Adelante 2 program, you have around 10 million euros.
Okay, okay, thank you so much. And in the case of Finnova, you were like granted for the window or for the other triangular cooperation?
Both, because both modalities need a European partner.
Then you had like two projects that they were approved for the.
Yes, I don't remember really if you can, if you have a limit of participation, but the European entities or the Latin American entities can apply to Adelante 2 window or to triangular cooperation by country.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. And now
sorry,
it's like
not or and you can apply twice to the two modalities.
okay,
Sorry.
and on the project that you were approved, what you could be like, what do you think, like if you can explain why you think that was a good project, like what it has like between the relationship between the partners that they were from Colombia, as we saw, what was for you like the winning horse, we say, like it was because of they were like really well connected, it was because the SDG that you choose, it was really like hot topic on the moment. What do you think it was the best of the project you apply for?
I think that maybe is, first of all, the importance of circularity in industry, which is very contaminant. So it's polluting. So it's very interesting to go on there. And I think that maybe the impact, if you can work with a entity like the Bogota Chamber of Commerce, you can assure replicability activities which can involve all the enterprise of the sector, which are members of the Bogota Chamber of Commerce. For example, I think that the challenge is important. The challenge in this case, the textile is very important challenge, and the possibility if the for example, the Colombian sector of industries, textile industries are very backward in different practices or application of standard. I think that this can be a very good development challenge to solve through different support from the EU or other Latin American country. In this case, like Lima or Peru, where the industry is it has very many experience in this kind of challenge.
Okay, thank you so much. Here we have like so many South American organizations that are joining today. Morning for all of you. You are also in Chile right now. What you could be your advice for those organizations that now they are listening to you? They are like, we have organizations in Cuba, Uruguay, we have in Argentina, Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, and other countries. That for them, for the first time they listen, about this, it's like how for them could be nice to have like the European funds and how they can be, doing the first steps to do this approach for UN funds, for European funds.
I think maybe it's to connect with different entities which are interested in the same development challenge from EU and from Latin America. That is maybe the first step to identify relevant actors for the initiative.
And like to contact them, how to do it, like how to search, because we were asked by a European organization how to reach organizations in South America. Now is the opposite. How organizations in South America can reach organizations in Europe.
Maybe I told you that the tool of B2B, business to business space, which is open by the Adelante 2 webpage, is important, but I don't know if, for example, this page or this space is now is now open. Sorry, and I recommend. I don't know, maybe, for example, Finnova or organization like Convalores, or other kind of organization can be maybe the canalize. I don't know if it is a good word, it's a good verb, but they can maybe put in contact with different actors. For example, we do that. We don't work in everything, but we know many actors in Europe, for example, to exchange. Maybe the other way is to visit the previous project and to identify some actors and actors related to these actors. Maybe it can be a very good strategy of a snowball, maybe. But
okay,
for example,
that's nice. And of course,
we-
for all those organizations, you can keep coming to our networking events, and there you can find so many partners from the nows you can do in Fans
Yeah.
Week, but also we will develop different events in 2024. Now it came up one question from one of our organizations, is that it's better to have the leader from Europe, or it is better to have a leader from South America?
No, it's different. It's not in the presentation because it's a more specific part, but the fund distinguish between the roles of the triangular cooperation and the role of management. And the role of management, the management is made by the Adelante team, but they need a coordinator entity, which can be all the can be the beneficiary, the first provider, or the second provider, the Latin American organization, or the European organization. It's not a problem. It's open for the role of the coordination, which is more to manage the justification of funds, the budget, etc. But it not depends on the roles of the triangular cooperation, the beneficiary, the first offer, and the second offer.
Okay, then, for example, in your case, Finnova was the one that applied for the fund, but was not the beneficiary of the fund. Was like the organization from Colombia.
Yeah, that is important. The European Union entity is not the beneficiary. The beneficiary is always the country of Latin American countries, and I think that the European Union entity must be just the second offerant.
Okay, and here they are asking us like, there is any specific like financial capability from the partners, from the ones in South America and from the ones from Spain, and if so, how you justify and how they validate it?
No, it's not necessary because the management of funds of budget is made by just by the Adelante 2 teams. So it's very interesting because you can save all these kind of problems usually associated with the administration of funds or the management of funds.
Okay, nice. And how they like they do the payment? Is in advance? In advance? They do it after you end like the activities?
They make the payment in advance. In advance.
Okay.
For the activities with a rule of justification, and then to give the other disbursement.
Okay, now I think there is they are getting so interested about the budget, because I receive so many questions about the budget. It's like there is a maximum percentage of the budget for the European partner.
No, just 25% for all the partnership.
Okay, and the percentage of co-financing, it has to be like divided within the partners.
Yes, and with different proportion, if you can see.
Okay, because it's not the same to pay 2,000 euros, for example, in Europe, like in other countries with different currency.
Yes, yes. You can make different counterparts for different entities, but you can achieve or reach the 25%.
Okay, and
So
one of the questions also speaking about the budget, they like it a lot, is like, which one are the costs that are eligible, the ones that they're gonna get financed? The cost that the European Union will pay for, if it's the people that is involved in the project, like their salaries, or is the traveling, or is I don't know what.
Yes, traveling they pay for these activities, seminars, etc. But this fund don't pay human resource, okay, like other programs. But they finance a specific human resource, but it's not human resource. It's not human resource. Rather, is consultancies, studies, specific studies, but not human resources.
Okay, and speaking again about budget, because they like it a lot, as I see this afternoon, it's like,
Yes.
there are some organizations that say, okay, if I am, an entity, an organization, and I travel to somewhere else, like for doing an event or for doing an activity, how, like, do they pay for the cost of the maintenance of the people, the hotel, the trip, well, blah blah blah, and if there is a per diem, maximum per
Yeah.
diem or minimum per diem?
Yeah, there is a per diem. There is an official per diem in the European Union, €2. So you can visit and see and find that document that specify, I think that 1,080 euros, I think, per day, but it's a norm of European Union, the maximum of this kind of, and yes, the visit, the tickets per
Okay,
diem,
and when an European country travels to South America, is the same amount, or depending on the country has different per diem?
it's different per diem. To Latin America, it's different per diem also. You can check in the European Union norms, specifically in these guidelines of the Adelante 2, they usually put these norms or these parameters.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. We will go with the last question. We have 2 minutes left before we have our networking event, that I will say to everyone that I have put like the link for the networking event. It's on the chat. Everyone can see it, and you can join us after we finish this talk. And now it's like, okay, what would be your advice for those organizations from Europe and from South America with no experience in Adelante, that they want to apply for Adelante in 2024? What would be like your advice, like the must do?
The must do is the same, to apply before the start of the call, and in the proposal, to keep in mind the coherence between the development challenge, the partnership, and the skill of the partnership, the experience of the partnerships, and the proposal. These three elements can be coherent and interesting, with a very good or interesting or urgent development challenge to tackle.
Okay, thank you so much, Michelle, for being here. If you want to join us in the networking event, you are totally welcome. For sure, like the other organizations will be really interesting to have you there. If you have other things to do, like, we understand, but if you want to join, you are totally welcome. And I would like to thank you so much, Michelle, for being here. It was really nice to have all this experience from South American European Union relationships, and hope, like, to apply all of us for the next call of Adelante, and be able, to create all these synergies between South America and the European Union. Thank you so much. And now we will have time for our networking event. It will be, as always, shared on the chat. You have it there, down there in the chat icon. You open it, and there is, like, I shared it twice as a link. And now I will, as we normally do, like, I will join there and I will wait for you there. Here, my colleague Andy will be waiting if any one of you needs to, like, copy paste the link or whatever. She will be here. If you have any doubt, you can speak with her right here, okay? Okay, thank you so much and see you in the networking.
Hello, how are you? Please join us in the networking event. Thank you. Basti, no llores.